Who's good at following instructions? Are you sure? Well, sometimes we get lots of instructions, and maybe you've bought a game or you've been given a toy or something like that, and before you can play with it, you have to put it together, and there's usually instructions. Now, I think that girls are better at following instructions than boys.
No way.
Because boys they don't get to the instructions. They don't, they just think, that's exactly what to do, and they try to do it, and it doesn't work. Because you need to follow the instructions. And the reason you need to follow the instructions is because the person who gave you the instructions, the person who wrote out the instructions, knows exactly how to do it. Exactly the right way to make it work. So first of all, you need to follow the instructions. Sometimes your mums and dads give you instructions. I don't know if you were told anything like this morning. Were you told, sit at peace, be quiet? Maybe not this morning, because you're both very good anyway, so you do anyway. But I had to say to Gordon, now be quiet, don't interrupt me. And I hope that you're good at following that kind of instruction. I know when you're in school, that word that we're not supposed to talk about, especially now. And I know in school, you have to be quiet. But I also know that most kids like being noisy. Keen doesn't like being noisy. Keen is always nice and quiet, aren't you? But this morning I want to see if you can follow instructions. So first of all, I want you to be quiet. Okay? And when I tell you, I want you to shout as loud as you can. Right? After 3. 1, 2, 3. Yay! Not too bad, not too bad. Okay, so this time, after 3, I want you to shout, not just so loud. And as I tell you to get louder, I want you to get louder, and then quieter. See if you can follow those instructions. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Yay! Great job. Now, our story that we've been doing about Joshua and the children of Israel. The children of Israel have now got to the promised land. They're there. But there's a great big city called Jericho. And God has promised to give them this city. The only thing is that Jericho has great big strong walls all around it. The people inside know that the children of Israel are coming. They're nearby, so they've closed the doors and there's no way in. So the children of Israel, they might be thinking to themselves, well, God has promised us the city of Jericho, but how are we going to get into it? Maybe there's going to be a big fight and a battle. Maybe we have to get ready for a battle. But God had a different plan. God gave Joshua some instructions that Joshua had to follow. And Joshua had to tell the people the instructions, and they had to follow as well. And God's plan didn't involve a battle or anything even difficult. All they had to do was that sometimes they had to be quiet, and at one particular time they had to shout as loud as they could. Because God said, in order for you to get into the city of Jericho, I want you to follow my instructions. I want you to walk around the city, just being quiet. So they set off and they walked around the city. Now you can imagine the people inside the city saw, here they're coming. Is this going to be a big fight? Is this going to be a battle? What's going to happen? Oh wait, hold on a minute. We're just going for a walk. No, actually now they've just gone back to their camp, because that's what they did. The first day they walked around the city quietly and went back to their camp, and they did that for 6 days. But on the 7th day, God's instruction was, on that day you have to walk around the city 7 times, and then when Joshua tells you, the priests are going to blow their trumpet. Now you might think this is a party hat, this is my trumpet, and then I want you to shout. Okay, so all they had to do was walk quietly, and when the trumpet blew, they had to shout. So get ready. Okay, when I blow this trumpet, I want to shout, and a really loud shout. You ready? So they're walking around the city. I'm not going to walk once for every day, and 7 times I'd be exhausted. And he kept just walking nice and quietly, and then the time came when they're following God's instructions. The trumpet blew. And now we're going to watch a video, and you can see exactly what happens. Hopefully it works.
We're getting there. Oh, too far.
I'm better at the mouse thing than you.
I'm taking you 3,500 years back in time. Finally, I can tell you the rest of the story about a hero in the Bible called Joshua. He is a huge example for me. As I told you last time, Joshua became the leader of the Israelites. He was supposed to lead them into Canaan, the land that God had promised them. First, they had to walk around in the wilderness for 40 years as a punishment for not believing in God. But Joshua and Caleb believed, and when God said he would give the people a country, then they were sure he would do it. After 40 years, God let them enter Canaan. So, they got ready and took the Ark of the Covenant with them. The chest you see here. This was the holiest and most important thing the Jews possessed. They had been told by God to make it in gold, and on the top of it, they should make a lid with 2 angels. God spoke to the Israelites in between these 2 angels. And there were several other sacred things that should lie inside this chest. And they had to bring this whole chest into Canaan. However, they got stopped by a huge river, the Jordan.
How are we supposed to get the mountain over to the other side?
But Joshua already knew God's plan.
You just walk straight over.
Was the city of Jericho. It was surrounded by a massive wall. The people who lived there had already heard that the Israelites would come. So Jericho was completely closed. No one came out, and no one came in. But the Israelites had to defeat Jericho if they were going to keep going into Canaan. They set up camp and had to figure out how to take their city. A man with a raised sword suddenly stood before Joshua.
Wait! Are you one of us, or do you belong to the enemy?
Neither. I am the chief of the Lord's army. I have arrived.
Joshua understood that he was a messenger sent by God.
What does my Lord have to say to his servant?
Take off your shoes, for the place where you stand is holy ground.
Now Joshua listened carefully. God had promised Joshua that the Israelites would take Jericho, but the way he was going to take the city was quite strange. This was not going to be ordinary conquest of the city. That was for sure. The next morning, Joshua told the people what God had said.
The priests are to carry the Ark of the Covenant and get ready to walk. 7 priests shall walk in front of the Ark and blow their horns. Armed men with weapons will walk at the front, and the rest of the people will follow at the very back. And one more thing, you must not say a word until I give the order.
And so they walked in complete silence around the city once and went back to the camp. I can imagine many were wondering what Joshua was doing. The next morning, everyone got up early and walked quietly around the city once, just as before. They did this for 6 days. On the 7th day, they were going to take the city. But before they left, Joshua gave a warning to everyone.
We will take the city, but no one is to take anything for himself. All treasures are to be given into the treasure store for God.
This day, they went around the city 7 times. And when the horns blew for the 7th time, all the people shouted as loud as they could. Then the miracle happened. The walls of Jericho fell. And the Israelites could walk right into the city. The battle was won because Joshua had led the people exactly as God had told him. He was always obedient to God, and in this way, they continued to take the rest of Canaan. God helped them drive out their enemies, and the Israelites can now live peacefully in their new home. Well, thanks for following along. I'll see you in another episode of Bible Year.
So, that's the story of Joshua. And when we first heard about Joshua, we heard God said to Joshua, be strong and be courageous. But what does it look like to be strong? It doesn't necessarily mean you have to be big and really super fit and all of that. For us, if we know God and we follow God's instructions, that's when we can be strong. Because the Bible tells us that God is our strength. We don't need to do things in our strength. If we want to do things for God, we want to live for God and do what He wants us to do our best with His help to live the way He wants us to live. If we want to witness for Him, anything that we want to do, we do it in God's strength, not in our strength. And that happens when we follow God's instructions, just like Joshua did. Sometimes God's instructions might not be the way we would want to do things. The Bible also tells us His ways are not our ways, but it's important that we follow God's instructions, just like Joshua did. He trusted God and he obeyed and followed God's instructions carefully. We saw in the video we heard last week, and it was a recap there about, when the children of Israel came to the river, they might have thought, well, how are we going to get across this river? Well, we have to swim, but it looks very dangerous. It's a huge, raging torrent of a river. Or maybe, do we have to try and build a bridge, or do we have to try and push the water back ourselves? But all they had to do was step in. That wasn't hard, but it did take faith. It took Joshua and the people to trust God. And the same when they came to the walls of Jericho. It didn't involve a great big battle. All they had to do was be quiet and shout when they were told, just like we did earlier. That was God's way, and that was God's plan. So in other words, in order for us to be strong in God, all we have to do is trust Him and follow His instructions. Now we're going to sing a song I don't think we've sung here before, and it has some new actions. So I'm going to read out the words. I'll show you the actions that we want you to do, and then we'll do it, okay?
Right, okay. So be bold.
Be bold.
Be strong.
Be strong.
For the Lord your God is with you. Be bold. Be strong. For the Lord your God is with you. I am not afraid. No, no, no.
And then shout, no, 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 okay?
I am not dismayed.
Not
No.
me. Is that jail up there? Oh, no, that's fine. Okay, no, no, no.
Because I'm walking in faith and victory. Come on, walk in faith and victory, for the Lord your God is with you. So is that just a poem, Janice, or is there a tune to it?
Tune as well, I'll bet you.
Be bold, be strong, for the Lord our God is with you. Be bold, be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. I am not afraid, no, 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 I am not dismayed, no, no, no. Walking in faith and victory, come on, walk in faith and victory, for the Lord your God is with you. Can I just suggest that because I took these words off the internet, and that usually is dangerous, because it's supposed to be I'm not dismayed, not me.
Not me. Second time, not me.
Be bold, be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. Be bold, be strong, for the Lord your God is with you. I am not afraid, no, 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 I am not dismayed, not me. Come walk in faith and victory, come on, walk in faith and victory, for the Lord